Page 96, Dynamic Chase. Introducing some more stuff having to do with dynamics. Look out. FF is fortissimo. That means very loud. 1F is forte, 2Fs is fortissimo. 2Fs is not twice as loud as 1F. It doesn't work that way. 2Fs is just a little louder than 1F because we can have 3Fs and 4Fs and have fun. Oh, so you go up a little bit. PP is pianissimo. 1P is piano. That's soft. Well, 2Ps is very soft. It's not twice as soft. It doesn't work. You have soft and you have very soft because, again, we can have more Ps than this. So pianissimo is very soft, and you have to decide what very soft is. In the left hand, I've been encouraging you to play very soft. Well, that was pianissimo. Plus, we get crescendos and decrescendo marks. We've already had diminuendo. We already know about that. Diminuendo and decrescendo is the same thing. As far as I'm concerned, there's no difference between them. Somebody might say, oh no, they're not the same. Go away. They're the same. All right? You're gradually getting softer. Well, crescendo means you're gradually getting louder. And they can use the words or an abbreviation for the word. Like crescendo, you could do CRSC for crescendo. You'll see that sometimes. Or DECRSC. Usually with the decrescendo, you just see a DIM for diminuendo. It's shorter. But a lot of times instead, you'll see these arrows. We call them hairpins. It's not like a little short arrow you might find over a note or something. This is a longer arrow that spans 2 or more notes. There's no point in having these arrows over a single note. Because on a piano, you can't control getting louder or softer once you play the note. The piano takes it. So these symbols simply mean getting louder or softer. And then you got to remember, okay, which arrow means which. And I do it by reading the arrow, because we read from left to right. The music, you're reading the music. So as you're reading the music, if the arrow starts at a point and then the lines gradually get further apart, you get louder. And if you're reading the music and the lines and the arrows start apart and gradually come together, you get softer. And that's how I remember it. Just how far are the lines apart as to which direction I'm going. Now, having the lines go apart doesn't tell you how much louder or softer to get. It just tells you whether you're getting louder or softer. That's all. You see it in the third measure. You see the arrow between the stabs telling you to get louder. And they don't always tell you how much louder to get or how much softer to get. Here they are telling you, you go all the way up to fortissimo. Well, we started with piano at the beginning, soft. And then in those 3 notes, we're going to go all the way up to fortissimo. I'll talk about it more when we get to the dynamics. Let's cover this. Go through our routine for learning a piece of music. It's 3 lines long. The last line is repeated, so it's like 4 lines. But then you got a DC al fine to go back and do the first 2 lines again. So now we're up to 6 lines long. Thing just grew, didn't it? The beauty about that is, though, as long as it may seem 6 lines, as far as learning it, you only got 3 lines to learn. So it's a little easier to learn. Treble and bass clef. No sharps or flats in the key signature. We are in the key of C major, more or less, because there's a lot of accidentals in here. 4/4 time signature, and we got dotted notes. We can handle those, I hope. So let's take a look here. Right hand first, make sure we get the notes and the rhythms. You're starting thumb here, and it's 1 and 2 and since third finger's on E, I'm going to use it on E flat. So again, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. And then an F sharp, well, the F is, 4th finger's on F, so I'll use it on F sharp. And that's a whole note to G. Second line's almost the same. Third line, well, in the second measure, the notes are written here, F sharp here, but it has an 8VA over it. So instead of here, I'm going to come up here. And then the last measure, the 8VA went away, of course, so now I'm back down here. Okay. Left hand, you just have a C chord, you're not all there, but it's there. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, okay. The third measure, It's an E flat, F sharp, G, then reach down, just stretch out, reach down, don't move, just reach down, and after you play it, you come back, because we need this position again. See, when you're stretching out like this, whether you come back or whether you collapse down here, whatever, depends on what comes next. And if you look at the second line, we need to be here. So here, I'm just going to come back to here. Second line is similar to that, and the last two measures of the second line are here. And the last C there has an 8V8 under it. So you just lift up and come down for one note, and then in the third line, you see you need to be here. So we're looking ahead to see where we need to go. So it's here, and to here, and then here. Okay. And then for the third measure of the last line, it has an 8V8 under it. So then we come down here. If you have a short keyboard, you don't have the notes, just play the lowest ones you got on the G. You're going to repeat that line, which moves you back up here. And then the DC sends you back to the beginning, which now you're up here. So you're moving around a bit. Now we have to be able to do this without messing up the beat. So put the hands together slowly. It's here. See, it's all together, and then when I do the E flat, the left hand comes up. So it's 1. Rest, rest. Get the idea? Let's go down to the last line. We're down here and up here. Down here, here. Since I'm playing one hand, I'm getting the other hand ready. So you're looking ahead, and you'll get in the habit of this. It'll come. To see what's coming so you can get the hand ready. Where does it need to be? Get it in position before you need to play if possible. So once you have an idea what the hands are doing, then go back through and get rid of the hesitations. Good luck on that, but you'll get it eventually. Then we try the articulation. Staccatos, I'm hinging at the wrist. They're short staccatos. I'm on the key and I'm bouncing off. Boom. Rest, rest. The last line, it's all staccato. Okay, so much for the articulation. Then the dynamics. Well, let's see what we can do with this. It's soft at the beginning, piano, and that's the melody, which is the right hand. This needs to be very soft. The hairpin to go up to very loud. Each one of these notes, soft, moderately loud, and then the very loud is for the right hand. This is loud in the left hand. So you're going soft, sort of loud, and then loud, but that's very loud. I want to hear the right hand. And that can be very loud here. It's by itself. And then come down to moderately soft. Just a little louder than you were at the beginning. And then we're going to do it again. Soft, moderately loud, and loud. And that note is very loud. Then you can play very loud here if you want. Then in the last line, both hands here, you're soft, and they don't tell you how much louder to get. This is where interpretation comes in. How much louder do you feel it should get? You know? And however loud you get here, this is how you're going to stay there. Then you're echoing very soft and come back. The last measure, you go back down. So in the second measure, I suggest you go up to maybe a moderately soft. Don't get too loud. Just coming up a little bit. Just experiment. You have to get the feeling. How loud do you feel it should be? And finally, the speed. Well, mysteriously is not a speed. It's the mood. But again, a lot of times in music where they're supposed to tell you the speed, instead they tell you the mood. So what do you think mysteriously is? You're kind of creeping around chasing it, except a chase tends to say, well, it must be quick. If it's a chase, I mean, what are we, chasing snails or something? So it needs to be a little quick, but it's got to be accurate. So I have no idea to tell you how fast to play it. In the last line, remember I told you before about repeat signs. You go back to the previous reverse repeat sign, and if there isn't one, then you go back to the beginning. Here we finally get a reverse repeat sign. So when you repeat the last line, the repeat sign, you're only going to go back and repeat the last line. You don't repeat the whole thing. Be careful on these very loud notes. When you're doing this, whatever they are, collapse the wrist a little bit. Don't tense up and play with stiff wrists. You got to stay relaxed, because if you start tensing up and doing this, you'll get a harsh, bangy sound. It'll just bang. We don't want that. We want a musical bang is what we're after. So let the wrists collapse a little bit. Let's play this together slowly to double check the notes and the rhythms. I'm not going to do any dynamics. Play it all about the same, but we're going to do the repeat and the DC and all that. So I'll give us 4 counts. 1, 2, ready, go. Rest, rest. Rest, rest. Repeat. To the beginning. Rest, rest. Rest, rest.